This short film is a fan-made cinematic inspired by the grimdark Warhammer 40,000 universe. On a small agricultural world at the edge of the Imperium, life was simple and quiet. Two pale suns warmed endless fields of grain that moved like a golden ocean beneath the wind. Low stone farmhouses dotted the plains. There were no grand cathedrals here, no fortress walls, no regiments drilling in parade squares, only soil, seasons, and faith whispered at dinner tables. The girl liked the garden behind the house most of all. She was 8, perhaps 9, small enough to disappear between rows of tall blue-leafed vegetables. She spoke to insects, chased drifting pollen spores, and believed the world ended somewhere beyond the far hills. That afternoon, the wind shifted. She noticed the soil had been disturbed near the irrigation ditch. Not dug, clawed. She crouched, brushing aside the leaves. Two yellow eyes blinked at her. The creature was small and funny. Green jagged teeth pushed past its lower lip. It looked like a tiny gnome from the fairy tales. It looked ridiculous. It tilted its head and did a whisper sound. The girl stared, then giggled. "You're funny." The creature scratched its ear with long blackened nails and grinned wider. She reached out without fear. It didn't bite. The girl lifted it into her arms. It was lighter than she expected, warm, smelling of iron and damp soil. "I'll show you Mama and Papa," she said. The creature's grin widened. Inside the farmhouse, her parents were preparing the evening meal. The smell of baked grain and root stew filled the dim interior. Oil lamps flickered against plaster walls decorated with faded devotional icons of the Good Emperor. The door opened. "Look what I found," the girl announced proudly. The creature wriggled in her arms and waved one crooked hand. Her father turned first. The spoon fell from his fingers. Her mother made a sound, not quite a scream, not quite a sob. The room went very, very still. The father stepped forward slowly, as though approaching a live explosive. His face had drained of color. "Put it down," he whispered, but Papa put it down. The girl lowered the creature onto the wooden table. It sniffed at a loaf of bread and took a bite without asking. Her mother began to cry. "It's an orc," she said through trembling lips. The girl frowned. "It's small." Her father's hands were shaking now. "When there is one," he said hoarsely, "there are thousands." The creature licked crumbs from its claws and looked up at them with bright amusement. Her mother sank into a chair, covering her face. "They spread by spores," her father continued, voice cracking. "They don't invade like armies. They infest. They bloom." The girl looked from her parents to the creature. It was still grinning. That night, they did not report the finding to the planetary governor. They did not alert the astropathic relay. Fear can silence even the faithful. "If we tell them," her mother whispered, "they will kill us." "It doesn't matter." "We are already dead," her father replied, staring into the darkness beyond the window. Outside, unseen in the fields, the soil was already changing. The rains carried more than water. The wind carried more than pollen. Within days, livestock began to vanish. Tools went missing. Laughter echoed in the distance at night, high-pitched, mocking, multiplied. Small shapes darted between crops. The girl saw more of them now. Some were like the first, thin, quick, mischievous, low orcs, Gretchen-like runts who squabbled over scraps and rode on the backs of larger beasts. But others were growing. Thick-limbed figures rose from the earth itself, muscles swelling beneath mottled green skin. Their jaws were broader, their shoulders wider. Crude armor plates were hammered into place by hands that seemed to know the craft instinctively. They argued constantly. "This one's mine, no eyes bigger." They built without instruction. Machines assembled from plow parts and tractor engines. Guns fashioned from irrigation pipes. Towers raised from barn walls and grain silos. Above the atmosphere, the first signals were detected too late. Ramshackle vessels translated into orbit, massive asymmetrical hulks held together by belief and violence. They did not glide, they roared. On the ground, the sky turned dark with descending craft. The girl stood in the garden again. The small orc she had found now walked upright beside her. It was taller, stronger. Its grin had never left. From the horizon came thunder, not weather, but artillery. The first city burned before sunset. High orcs, towering knobs, clad in scavenged armor, marched through fields that had once grown food. Behind them rolled armored monstrosities, belching smoke and fire. Their war boss strode at the center, vast and brutal, metal jaw snapping with each barked command. "This world's ours," he roared, and the cry echoed in thousands of throats. Wog. The girl's parents held her as the farmhouse windows shattered from distant detonations. The small orc looked delighted. "Told ya," it said. "Funds stopped." In orbit, the Imperial cruiser Lex Ultima observed the planetary feeds in cold silence. The bridge resembled a cathedral of steel. Incense drifted beneath vaulted arches. Server skulls hovered, projecting casualty reports in red lumens. The Inquisitor did not sit. He stood with hands clasped behind his back, watching the world burn on a hololithic display. Total planetary infestation confirmed. An officer reported orcoid biomass expanding exponentially. PDF resistance collapsed. The Inquisitor's face did not change. Exterminatus protocols ready. "My lord." There was no hesitation. "This world is lost," the Inquisitor said quietly. "The infection must not spread." On the surface, the war boss laughed as another bastion fell. In the garden, the girl looked up as the sky grew brighter than any sun. Her father understood first. He closed his eyes. The Inquisitor gave the final command. "For the Emperor, execute." From orbit, lances of unbearable light descended. Atmosphere ignited. Oceans boiled. Continents fractured along ancient fault lines. The war boss threw back his head and howled in savage joy at the great explosion consuming his prize. The small orc only laughed, and in the final blinding moment before the world cracked apart, the girl finally understood what her parents had known from the beginning. Some worlds are conquered, some are consumed, and some are simply erased so that others may live. Silence followed. In the void where the agricultural planet had once turned peacefully around its twin suns, there was nothing left but drifting ash.